Polish coal miner found alive 2 days after earthquake. Children killed in Nigeria school collapse. South Korea's laser system to counter drones. Dozens missing as landslide sweeps buses into river in Nepal. Extremely aggressive wildfire burns in eastern Canada. Endangered Chinese pangolin born in Prague Zoo.
Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It is Tuesday, July 16th, and here are your top stories. A miner who was reported missing after an earthquake shook Poland's Rydułtowy coal mine has been found alive more than 2 days after the accident that killed one of his colleagues and injured another 17. The coal mining group that operates the mine said the miner has been airlifted to hospital and the rescue operation has been closed. Earlier, the office of the provincial governor of the Silesia coal mining region in southern Poland said that the miner was conscious and was being transported to the surface.
The head of the Polish coal mining group that operates the mine, Leszek Pietrusik, said that rescuers reached the 32-year-old miner around 2 p.m. on Saturday. He was conscious and communicating but had some breathing problems. He received first aid from a doctor who also prepared him for transportation to the surface. Hundreds of rescuers took part in the operation and at times had to be withdrawn from the corridor when more tremors were threatened or due to dangerous methane gas levels. The rescuers had to hand sift through the rubble to reach the miner. 78 miners were in the area when a magnitude 3.1 tremor struck about 1,200 meters below the surface on Thursday afternoon. One miner, aged 41, was killed, and 17 were hospitalized with injuries. 13 of the injured have since been released from the hospital.
22 children have died and at least 132 have been injured after a school building collapsed in Nigeria's Central Plateau state. Saint Academy in the state capital Jos caved in while students were in class on Friday morning. Children were trapped under the debris. Volunteers used excavators, hammers, and their bare hands to break through the piles of concrete and twisted iron rods to reach those trapped. Police reported that at least 22 children had died, with many more received treatments in local hospitals. The school is believed to have more than 1,000 pupils.
The state government said an investigation is underway and cited the school's weak structure and unsafe location near a riverbank, advising other schools with structural concerns to close immediately. Residents said the collapse came after 3 days of heavy rains in Plateau. UNICEF Nigeria representative Christian Munduit wrote on X, devastated by the tragic loss of young lives at Saint Academy. There have been several major building collapses in Nigeria in recent years, with observers blaming a mix of bad workmanship, poor quality materials, and corruption. In 2021, at least 45 people were killed when a high-rise building under construction collapsed in a wealthy Lagos neighborhood.
South Korea is beginning the mass production of a low-cost laser weapon that has successfully shot down small drones during testing. A news release from South Korea's Defense Acquisition Program Administration said the weapon, called Block Eye, can precisely strike small unmanned aerial vehicles and multicopter at close range. The release did not provide costs, but said each shot would only cost about $1.50. Imagery supplied by the agency shows a weapon around the size of a shipping container with a laser mounted on top and a radar or tracking device mounted on the one side of the platform.
DAPA said the unit measures 9 meters by 3 meters by 3 meters and fires laser rays that are difficult if not impossible to detect before impact. The DAPA release said, "It is invisible and noiseless, does not require separate ammunition and can be operated only when electricity is supplied." Future versions could be developed to take out much bigger targets, including aircraft and ballistic missiles, which would be a potential game changer. DAPA will develop a laser anti-aircraft weapon, Block 2, system with improved output and range compared to the current one. Militaries have typically responded by trying to take out low-cost drones with defensive systems that cost tens of thousands of dollars per strike. A weapon that could do the same for practically pennies would be a big boost to the country that can deploy it.
Rescuers are searching for over 60 missing people in Nepal after a massive landslide swept 2 buses into a river. Some survivors recounted their terrifying ordeal, with one saying he was thrown out of the window of the bus into the river. Only 3 people appear to have survived the accident, which occurred in the early hours of Friday. Authorities stated that the landslide was triggered by heavy rains. Nepal, along with other parts of South Asia, is currently in the midst of the monsoon season and has experienced heavy rains in recent weeks, leading to floods and landslides that have affected millions.
The accident occurred at 3:30 local time on Friday in Chitwan along the Narayan-Ghat-Mugaling Highway, about 100 kilometers from the capital, Kathmandu. Nepal's Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal has called for all government agencies to join in the search and rescue operation. Scores of people are estimated to have died this monsoon season, with key highways blocked and some bridges swept away by swollen rivers. Authorities have urged residents in the southeast of the country to be on alert as the Koshi River, which flows through Nepal and India, is above the danger level. Nepal also often experiences deadly crashes due to poorly maintained roads and reckless driving.
A wildfire burning in eastern Canada has scorched more than 24,000 acres and forced thousands to flee the town of Labrador City, where at least one hospital has been closed. Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador, Andrew Furey, said in a Facebook update on Saturday that the extremely aggressive inferno was deemed fully under control earlier this week, but weather conditions shifted on Friday, setting the stage for rapid fire spread. The wildfire expanded to 22,000 acres in size, moving about 13 miles in just 4 hours.
Jeremy Reynolds, a spokesperson for the government of Newfoundland and Labrador, told CNN on Saturday that around 9,500 people have been evacuated from Labrador City. He added, "A contingent of essential personnel has remained behind to oversee the emergency response." The town of Labrador City, in the northwestern part of the province, is remote and sits about 900 miles north of Canada's capital city of Ottawa. The wildfire has also led to the temporary closure of Labrador West Health Centre. Everyone in the hospital has been safely evacuated, including 45 patients receiving care for more serious conditions. Those patients have been moved to facilities within the province. The hospital announced it would remain closed until it is safe to fully reopen.
A second Chinese pangolin was born in Prague Zoo in less than 2 years and is doing well, defying the odds and surprising park officials. The critically endangered female was born on July 1st, making her the second Chinese pangolin born in captivity in Europe, following her sister, Cone, born in February last year. She weighed 141 grams but was gaining about 10 grams daily. Adults can weigh up to 6.8 kilograms. The zoo director said that when the park received Guo Bao, a male, and Ren Houtang, a female, from Taipei Zoo in 2022, the leading breeder of the species, the main goal was to keep them alive and healthy.
The Chinese pangolin is native to southern China and Southeast Asia. It is one of the 4 pangolin species in Asia, with the others found in Africa. They are heavily hunted for their scales and meat. Pangolins are difficult to breed in captivity because they require a special feed that includes drone larvae and specific humidity and temperature in their enclosure. Prague became only the second European zoo to keep the species. The pangolins arrived after Prague decided to revoke a sister city agreement with Beijing and signed a similar deal in 2020 with the Taiwanese capital, Taipei. The deal caused tensions with China, which claims Taiwan as part of its territory, and included cooperation between the Taipei and Prague zoos.
The answer for yesterday was A, suspicious. You have a very suspicious mind. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into the news of endangered Chinese pangolin born in Prague Zoo. Number 1, defy, 对抗, 违抗. It is rare to see children openly defying their teachers. Number 2, critically, 严重地, 危急地. They were both critically injured in the accident. Number 3, endangered, 有危险的, 濒临灭绝的. Social workers who look after abused or endangered children often have stressful days at work. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's it for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune into Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Wadley, your host. I'll see you next time.